Hello, everyone. Welcome back to What Businesses Need to Know Right Now. I am your host, Nettie Owens with Sapari Solutions. I help high achiever business owners reach their biggest goals without burning out. And today I've brought with me Julie Chmura of Elegant Restoration. She provides, or the company that she works with provides, emergency and disaster response services to businesses, homeowners when water, fire, storm damage occurs. They respond and assist companies and homeowners to navigate the insurance process, restore the property back to the original condition, so that they can get back to life and business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So I've brought Julie here in response to a lot of the natural disasters and other emergencies that have come up where businesses have needed an emergency response and have not necessarily had one in place. So I wanted to bring Julie here to talk to us about why it's important to have an emergency response plan before the emergency happens. So welcome, Julie. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Nettie. Glad to be here.
It's good to have you on. So talk to us about that first point. Why do we need an emergency response plan, and why should we be thinking about that before the first emergency happens?
Yeah, it's a great question. So most business owners are busy building their business. So they're not always thinking about what if something happens. And so having a partner in place to help you put a plan important for keeping your doors open for your clients and for your employees, because we all know that when it's closed, you're not making money, right?
Right.
These are the facts from FEMA. 40% of businesses that experience a disaster and emergency close after that disaster. 40%.
Wow. So one incident just takes them down.
And then the second statistic is 25% of those surviving businesses close within 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Because
that's amazing. And we as a world have been going through an enormous disaster where a lot of businesses have closed because there wasn't a plan in place and they weren't able to adapt fast enough.
Exactly. So having a partner in place to help with responses quicker, you know who you're calling in the middle of the night. If the police show up or call you and say, hey, there's a fire at your building or there's a car in your building, who do you trust to come put and restore that building, secure it so that it's safe, right? Mm-hmm. It could be a water loss and you have hundreds of residents in that building and you're trying to handle elderly people. And so what do? Who are you calling? And so having that partnership in place with a company like Elegant Restoration can come in and help you be prepared and ready for those so that you can take care of either your clients or your residents or whomever is there at your business.
And you work to make the plan ahead of time, right? So what kinds of things go into an emergency response plan? What should we be thinking about or even asking that partner, questions on when we start to think about creating an emergency response plan?
We use an actual process where we come in and we're going to find out what's important to your business. We're also going to help educate you about your building, whether you lease it or whether you own it. Mm-hmm. Where are there shut-off valves? Do you have gas there? What's your electrical? Where is it? Because if somebody hits a sign out front, you might need to know how to turn that off. What happens if a storm comes through and the roof's blown off? Mm-hmm. Understanding the components of your building and how that all works. And so if you needed something boarded up or what have you, you know what you're doing. And so by doing a plan ahead of time, you're prepared. You know who you're calling. You're not like overwhelmed with the whole process. You can think on your feet. You call that individual. You call the company. We come in. We're going to help respond. You're going to know already how to turn the water off if it's a water loss. Why is that important? Because it can cut down on your claim costs. If your claim is less than your overall deductible, you may not need to put in a claim with your insurance company. So we're there as your partner to really help understand, even down to the artwork in your building.
Wow, that's actually something I wouldn't have even thought of.
Yeah, so there are lots of buildings that have high-end artwork, and what does that mean to be taken care of, whether it's cleaned, does it have smoke damage, is it odor, all these different components that you really don't think about ahead of time. We help identify that, document that, and then we have an ongoing relationship.
So what's standing out for me? I mean, you're certainly talking about obviously the physical aspects of it, but what popped in my mind was when you have this plan, then if you as the business owner aren't available, your business, your team can make sure that that plan gets implemented. And they are not second guessing, what would you want? What are the next steps? Who do I call? It's really just a matter of following the process, and documenting that ahead of time. So how do you go about getting that set up? Obviously if they're working with you, there's a process that they walk through. If they're working with somebody else, what would be kind of the first step to take, to start the beginning of a response plan?
Well, working with a company like Elegant Restoration, we're reaching out to the community. So in your community, there are other businesses just like ours doing the same thing. So reaching out to your network of restoration contractors to see who does pre-planning. What does that look like? Is there a cost for it? We offer it to our clients at no cost. We're coming in, we're going to help you be prepared. You don't need us until you need us, Nettie.
Right.
And like you said, it's really important for your employees to understand, who are we calling? Who are we working with? The other important piece of that, I know on your team, who is there to make decisions. So that when you are off on vacation, those decisions can be made. So, doing that and really getting it set up. If you're here locally in the Baltimore area, give me a call, email me, Julie Chmura at Elegant Restoration. I know Nettie's going to put it up here in a couple minutes. But, just taking that time to really think ahead of time. What does that mean for my business if I can't keep my doors open?
So I think it's amazing that you offer this just as a courtesy to your clients. It's something that I'm curious, other businesses that are local, for the different aspects of the, around the country. It's so simple. This thing that you're missing out on is just a phone call away from having a plan that could honestly save your business from closing. It sounds like your phone should be ringing off the hook. And I wonder, and this may be, later on down the line, but, do you create those plans for people remotely now that things have opened up, globally? That might be something, if there isn't a company in your area, perhaps reach out to Julie and see if they can help you at least get that started to know what to do. So you mentioned artwork as something that a lot of people aren't really paying attention to, but what else? What might people miss? They're thinking about the building, the water shut off, the gas shut off, the electrical shut off. They're thinking about those things. What do people often miss?
Well, think of the different types of businesses. So some businesses have very specialized equipment, whether it's lab equipment, medical equipment. If there's a fire that is in there, how is that going to, you can't move an MRI. There's pieces like that you think about ahead of time. So what does that look like? And we gather, who are the vendors? Who would have to come in to service that piece of equipment as something of that nature happened? Some people still have paper files. Where are they? Why are they important? Can you get them digitized? Just helping them really look at the whole process. And we take it baby steps at a time, so it's not overwhelming. And also looking at, what does the building envelope look like? The building envelope's the outside of your building. So from your roof all the way down to your windows, walls, floors, everything, if that's penetrated by water or anything of that nature. So the contents of the building can vary based on the business. And we've done operating rooms, we've done offices, we've cleaned up all types of specialized equipment that needed to be handled.
Excellent. Wow. This is really informative. I'm so thankful to have had you on. Listen, if your business does not yet have a disaster plan, please reach out to Julie at elegantrestoration.com. She can help you out and then help you connect to somebody in your area if that's necessary. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you, Nettie.